Hi everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles, again with Jim Hughes.
And again with Terry Stiles on this week's edition of Oxford News This Week. Township Supervisor becomes the Vice President. Oxford gets another grant, and crime in the village.
All that and more. The Oxford News begins right now. This is a surprising and sad thing to report. The Oxford police are asking for public help for any information regarding a break-in at Burdick Street landscaping building. Early last week, a suspect broke through the window and stole several steel brand items and disappeared in a dark-colored Dodge truck with what looks to be a glass rack on the back. Anyone with information is asked to contact Investigating Officer James Irish at 248-508-4661 or irish@thevillageofoxford.com.
Barely in his second quarter as Oxford Township Supervisor, Jack Curtis was just elected first Vice President of the Oakland County chapter of Michigan Townships Association. This comes as no surprise, as Curtis has been involved with the MTA for several years, and when involved in something, he goes all out. In this case, Curtis believes collaboration between local governments and their officials is actually a benefit to everyone. Terry?
All totaled, Oxford Township Communications and Grants Manager C.J. Carnacchio has amassed nearly $260,000 in grants and donations to benefit the community, and the latest $10,000 grant is no exception. Last week, Almont-based Fork County Community Foundation awarded $10,000 to Oxford Township Parks and Recreation to create a community garden and greenhouse at Seymour Lake Park. The plan is to carve out a 10,000 square foot garden and greenhouse to be maintained by a combination of the park staff and volunteers. Additionally, Harvest Time Market and Pet Stuff has agreed to donate up to 12 flats of vegetables and herbs, and Stone Ace Hardware, Home Depot, and Tractor Supply all have agreed to donate an assortment of tools. The majority of the harvest will benefit free meals program based at the Emmanuel Congregational United Church in Oxford. Recreation Specialist Don Medici and Park Superintendent Jeff Kines brought the idea to Carnacchio, who secured the funding. To learn more about the Fork County Community Foundation, visit their website at 4ccf.org, or you can also go to the Township Facebook page and learn about them there. Jim?
Any local businesses still needing help to keep their doors open during the pandemic may be eligible to actually receive funding from Restaurant Revitalization Fund through the United States Small Business Administration. The program does involve funding equal to the business's pandemic-related revenue loss, up to $10 million per business. Recipients are not required to repay the funding as long as the funds are used for eligible purposes no later than March 11, 2023 registration. The application portal is opened, so visit it. It's at http://sba.gov, sba.gov. I got to mention that $10 million, maybe that was like a grand total, but you know, as I say, if you're struggling, maybe fill out that form. Terry?
Oxford High School senior Zach Patterson is hosting a virtual charity 5K event to both raise money for the Canine Stray Rescue League and his senior project. Zach says if anyone is interested in signing up for the event and get some cool gear, go to his website at http://runsignup.org.
Now that the weather is getting better, there are a lot of projects happening outdoors, and Dina Moreau's project is no exception as a Girl Scout doing her Golden Community Service project. Moreau has also installed 3 owl boxes along the trail. With her father's help, she installed the boxes and is preparing to install signs explaining what the boxes are for. Hopefully the owls will appreciate that. All her hard work. Again, congratulations to her and her efforts. Terry.
Last week, honor students from Lake Orion Baptist School joined some local Daughters of the American Revolution to help clean and stage display items at the Northeast Oakland Historical Museum. According to member John Crawford, these students are a treasure to the community, and it was wonderful to see the room renovations of the historical displays. Jim?
Speaking of cleaning, the Oakland County Sheriff Office is doing something really cool here, collecting up bicycles for the recycling purpose of the kids program, Bicycles in All Conditions. They'll be accepted on Saturday, May 8th from 10 to 4 on the campus at Oakland University. The bikes collected will be refurbished and made available to kids and adults in need. So if you got that bike that's been sitting in the corner for 20 years, why not donate it? Terry?
For those of you who may want to get their coronavirus vaccine but haven't been able to, the Oakland County Health Division will hold its first 2 walk-in clinics on May 7th and 8th, no appointment needed. Friday, May 7th from 9 a.m. to 1 for ages 18 and over will be at the UWM Sports Complex on South Boulevard in Pontiac. It will be a single-dose Johnson & Johnson. Saturday, May 8th, ages 18 and up at the North Farmington High School on 13 Mile Road in Farmington Hills. The 2-shot Moderna will be given, and the second dose will be administered on June 5th from 9 to 1 p.m. Jim?
Thanks, Terry. And you know what? Spring is here, and now is the perfect time to enjoy being outdoors. This year's Michigan Flower, Art, and Home Improvement Show is coming up on May 8th at Canterbury Village in Lake Orion. With no charge admission, I can afford that. The area's largest assortment of beautiful flowers, plants from local farms, or learn more about new building trends going on in the area, home improvement and gardening tips. It's all going to be right there. The exhibitors will be there. Show starts on May 8th and ends on May 9th. That's Mother's Day coming up, so you might want to get over there Saturday and pick Mom up some flowers. Terry?
Yeah, that sounds like a fun weekend event. I love getting flowers for Mother's Day, so
Oh, for sure.
I think I'll go down there and buy a flat or 2.
I was a bit early this year because I always get flowers for her on Mother's Day, like 2 little hanging baskets.
Oh, yeah.
And this year I did it on Easter. And I don't think she was quite prepared because we still had a lot of colder weather.
Yeah,
And then
that's right.
she's like, "Don't get me anything on Mother's Day." And I go, "Okay, right."
You'll have to get her
You know
new flowers now, right?
You know how that goes, right?
Right. Well, that's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, you can pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or you can catch us on Charter, Channel 191, or AT&T Channel 99, or Facebook and YouTube pages, Oxford Community Television. I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Jimmy Hughes. Thanks for watching OCTC TV, where we bring your news closer to home. As I always say, don't forget to wear your mask when you're out, even if you are vaccinated. Put that mask on. It saves everybody around you.
Just makes them feel better.
Makes everybody feel better.
Yep.
There you go. And we hope you feel better, and we hope you'll join us next week on Oxford News This Week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Every year, distracted drivers are responsible for nearly 2.5 million car crashes. The National Safety Council reports cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes. The NSC reports 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. Texting or reading text takes your eyes off the road for at least 5 seconds.
How you doing, ma'am?
So if you were traveling at 55 miles per hour, you're essentially driving the length of an entire football field blindfolded. Once a driver has been distracted, it takes only 3 seconds for a car crash to occur.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Nearly 6 months after NHTSA launched an investigation into select Chevrolet bolts for catching fire, General Motors has developed a solution, the automaker said on April 29th. On November 13th, about a month after NHTSA announced the investigation, GM recalled over 68,000 bolts from the 2017 to 2019 model years. Of the recalled bolts, almost 51,000 were sold in the U.S. Since then, dealers have been unable to sell the defective vehicles to customers, trade the bolts to other dealers, or send the vehicles to auctions. GM believes the cause of the 5 known fires is related to a rare manufacturing defect in the production of the battery cells by LG Chem in South Korea, said spokesman Dan Flores. The defect could result in a heat source or a short in the cell, which could cause a fire, he said. Dealers will install a GM-developed diagnostic tool to identify potential battery anomalies and replace battery module assemblies as necessary, GM said in a statement. Dealers will also install advanced onboard diagnostic software that can detect potential issues related to changes in battery mode performance before problems occur, GM said. The remedy will be available for owners of 2019 Bolts starting on April 29th. Owners of 2017 and 2018 Bolts will be eligible for the repair by the end of May, GM said. The automaker will also make the advanced diagnostic software available to all other Bolt owners in the coming months. The software will be standard in the 2022 Bolt EV and EUV, along with future GM electric vehicles. In November, GM said it had identified 5 Bolt fires possibly related to high-voltage batteries produced by LG Chem in South Korea. In each of the 5 confirmed cases, the batteries were at or near their maximum charge. Bolts built for the 2017 and 2018 model years used the LG Chem batteries made in South Korea. For the 2019 model year, some Bolts were built with the Korean batteries, while others used LG Chem batteries made in Holland, Michigan. GM said Bolts built with the Michigan batteries were not affected. GM said the 2020 Bolts are not affected because they were built with a different battery chemistry that increased range. All Bolts are powered by GM's previous generation battery architecture, not the proprietary Ultium battery that will power its future EV lineup, which includes the GMC Hummer pickup and SUV, Cadillac Lyriq, and Chevrolet Silverado EV. In November, as a temporary solution, GM told customers who have a 2017 or 2018 Bolt to drive using Hilltop Reserve mode until a software update is available. It suggested that owners of 2019 models set their battery charge to a maximum of 90%. Once dealers have added diagnostic software, they will remove the 90% charge limitation and return the battery to its full charging capability, GM said. GM repurchased Bolts from some customers during the recall period, but the automaker would not disclose the number of owners approved for a repurchase. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Children could be set on a path to developing allergies, asthma, and eczema before they are born. Analysis of a baby's first stool, known as meconium, shows that a lack of certain biochemicals and gut bacteria normally seen in the feces is linked with a higher risk of allergies and other conditions. Allergic reactions such as food allergies, hay fever, asthma, and eczema are caused by the immune system overreacting to harmless compounds in the environment. Many studies have found that links between such immune system reactivity and a lower diversity of gut bacteria or a microbiome. One idea is that a diverse ecosystem of beneficial bacteria helps to train the developing immune system to tolerate non-harmful compounds. The new research by Cherise Peterson at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver and her colleagues analyzed the meconium of 100 babies who had been part of a larger ongoing Canadian study of child development. Meconium isn't normal feces, but a mixture of substances that entered the baby's mouth in the late pregnancy, such as amniotic fluids, skin cells, and substances made by the baby's skin. Chemically, it includes a range of fatty molecules, amino acids, and other compounds from the mother's diet. Meconium is kind of a time capsule because it contains all the molecules that the baby was exposed to, says Peterson. Most allergic conditions develop in later childhood, so to get results when the infants were 1 year old, the team did a skin test that measures the reactivity of the immune system. The quarter of the group with the most chemically diverse meconium had half the risk of an overreactive immune system compared with the quarter who had the least variable meconium. There was a similar size link between diverse gut bacteria in the meconium and later immune reactivity. What's in the meconium becomes the food source for all the bacteria that we want to colonize us, says Peterson. The more diverse the food source, the more likely you're going to be able to support the colonization of all those beneficial microbes. Parents could try to lower their children's risk of allergic reactions through steps such as avoiding unnecessary antibiotics and trying to get their children to play outside, says Peterson. Another factor linked with a lower risk of allergies is having a pet dog in the house, says Tom Mars at King's College, London. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.